everybody. Thanks for joining me. And in today's episode, I've got a very lovely lady. Her name's Sylvia Fernandes, and she started in 2002 as a behavioral change specialist here in Sydney, but she's currently in Singapore. So she's worked with many organizations and individuals all over the world to help implement immediate permanent change. She does this because she's a master trainer of NLP. So that's an accelerated learning model that makes change through the five senses. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thanks, Friska. I'm just so excited about this interview.
Great. Well, look, the top question that I wanted to ask straight off the bat is changes to an organization's, their systems, their structures, their platforms, they can't occur without first a change up here, a change in mindset. So, help clarify once and for all, what is NLP and how have you seen it play a part in driving this?
NLP is like, understanding the entire big picture of the mind. So we can come in from any which angle. So people need to have a mindset to embrace change. One, flexibility, openness, acceptance. These are states of mind that are present in some people, if they grew up in environments where, parents encouraged this and threw them out, to be challenged by different landscapes. But, most of the time I see when systems are implemented in organization, that there are lots and lots of people who've been so used to their certainty, familiarity, and, systems that they've used for a long time, and now you're saying, oh gosh, you've got to, change and do something different.
Yeah.
So there are lots of mental blockages, and, that mindset of routine and certainty is the thing that blocks people and hinders people from getting ahead. So in NLP, we have specific processes. One in particular is called anchoring, where we create states that the client needs. So, these states of mind are created for people to use at will anytime they need to. So you can fire off the anchor, trigger it off, and bang, you have it. Whether you woke up, on the wrong side of the bed, or you're not feeling like in the mood to do anything, you could just trigger it off, bang, your state changes, and you go for it. So the value of creating states is actually at the core of NLP. It's so tremendous that most people, I feel, if people understood how to manage and create a state for themselves, or many states for all of the different things we do, that would be amazing for their results, So confident state to close the deal, state of calm to implement a system, state of rapport to liaise with vendors, So these states get you to demonstrate specific behaviors that are required to achieve the results. So that's where high performance comes in. And this, NLP is actually a high performance model, for anyone wanting to do anything at the time that they need to.
Hey, never mind about performance. I mean, 2020 was the year of change, right? Widespread homeschooling, work from home, lots of layoffs around the world, and they all impacted mental health and well-being. So, we talked about high performance, but a lot of people are struggling to just even put one foot in front of the other. So how can NLP help with this?
Yeah, the level of uncertainty and depth of change that people had to contend with globally was second to none. I mean, our great-grandparents probably went through this, in the Spanish flu when it broke out in 1918. But, the shock experienced to the internal self, is enormous. It's like an earthquake, an explosion, So this sort of thing that the mindset or the entire mind-body-spirit connection is not used to, this causes tremendous anxiety and stress for people, and I've had tremendous number of calls from people saying, I'm suffering from anxiety. I'm not that sort of person usually, so it's just kind of like, done a whole bunch of things internally. So NLP can help reconnect that person's, neurological connections. So mind-body connection, it's a rewiring of the brain, because
it helps stabilize.
Yes. And once you rewire, you're able to then accept the new landscape and stabilize, because we have more than 100 processes in NLP. So it can help clients clear their fear and refocus them on the future. I find a lot of people are focused on the past, just reorientating their internal compass, from the past to the future is a big step already, And then we talked about creating states so that they can draw upon them when they need them, expanding the boundaries of their mind, because when people have this closed idea of this is life and this is how I'm going to live, when you expand it, then you're able to accept a lot more. And whatever happens, you see, I am teaching this stuff and sharing these tools like for 19 years. So I didn't go through any of that. Why?
Yeah.
Because my
Yeah.
mind was ready for it. Why
Mm.
can't yours be? So it's just a matter of learning tools, and
Mm.
clearing internal dissonance. People who have a problem with congruence, a part of me wants to do this, a part of me wants to do that. They have internal conflicts, difficulty in making decisions, things like that. So people like that would suffer greatly. And there's no need to suffer today. There's so many things that can help you.
That's right. So what would be the perfect storms, I guess? What would be the ideal situation where NLP would be really effective?
Okay. When I walk into organizations, I could walk into a company that has very low employee engagement, low motivation, big percentage of non-performers, people who, high medical leave incidents, that is a marker that the company is in negative territory. So
Right.
NLP could be used, to get people out of negative territory to neutral. Okay, so that's one scenario. But if a company is already very, very doing very well, high performers or, people who are doing at least, meeting their KPIs, lots of things, but you know what, we can all improve. So you want to move from neutral to positive territory, creating high performance teams. That's where NLP helps as well, because it's an accelerated learning tool. It has a, toolbox of change management tools like you wouldn't believe. And so any which way, whatever is needed to take that person and catapult them, to the next level. So NLP can be used for that too.
Excellent. And my final question, because there's still a lot of cloak and dagger mystery about what is and what isn't NLP. So I'd love to hear from you. What are the biggest myths about NLP that fire you up that you want to clear up once and for all?
Oh gosh, having done this for 19 years, I feel so bad to even say this 19 years later. But it's sad to say that myths are usually propagated by people who don't really have the experience in the field, and they don't understand the full extent of application that NLP can be utilized. And so they say things like NLP is manipulative, so I say, ethics is something that you either have it or you don't, or you want to, if you don't have it and you know that you want it, well, you can have it and change your mindset. But, if you're an unethical person, whether you're a doctor, a lawyer, NLP practitioner, you're going to be unethical. So it's not about the field, it's about the person, who is using this stuff, So, I mean, a lot of flack comes from the language side of things, because we teach hypnotic language. A lot of people think, oh, hypnotic language, hypnosis, that's word
Hocus
from the
pocus.
devil. Yeah, exactly. It's not. It's our everyday, normally recurring language that we use in everyday life. It's just a normal occurrence every day. So once you understand the language patterns, now when I embed commands with a client, so let's say a client comes in depressed, I know the structure of the unconscious mind. So I embed commands for the unconscious to stop doing all of the stuff it's doing to cause depression, and get that person out of it, to get them out into normal life. This is why it works so fast. It bypasses the conscious filters. Now, if you use the same things to embed commands in someone, let's say when I am at the airport, and I'm going to embed commands to the person who's checking me in to upgrade me to business class.
Can you do that for me as well?
You know what I mean? That's not a win-win. It's like, all right, let me do stuff for my own benefit. And that's where it has a lot of flack. Okay, so people talk about that. I say, if you're an ethical person, you look for win-wins. Your clients have come to you for something, I'm going to use that embedding commands language, to make sure they get out of my office, really well and able to live life again. So, in a more positive mindset. So, I mean, I've worked with brand names for so many years. That's testimony that this myth is, it's nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay, second one, and a big one too. NLP is seen as very pseudo, fake. We're trying to trick people. It's not scientific. This whole thing of scientific, I mean, intuition was not recognized for so many years, because scientists said, oh, it's not scientific, it doesn't exist. Today, it's recognized. How many years later, how many centuries later? If you look at high performers, why are they high performers? They are operating from intuition today. Yes, I have logical senses as well, but today I'm intuitive. You know, if I have a choice between my logical mind and, you know, my senses, my intuition, I'm going to go intuition. You know, most of the time my decisions are amazing. So, well, I say the proof is in the pudding. I look for outcomes and positive results. You know, when I have a suicidal client who's slitting their wrist, you know, coming to see me, and within 7 to 10 sessions, you know, this person goes back to stability, back to normal life, never looks for me after that. We become friends, you know. Hey, what are we talking about? And these are people who've tried everything. They've been to psychologists, psychiatrists, they've been warded in the hospital, they've tried everything, and they are desperate. Do you think that they would ever come to someone who's an NLP master trainer? No, no idea what NLP is, but it's an option because they have come to the end of the road and they don't know who else to see, you know. So how is it just a little bit of changing pictures and sounds and feelings? You know, I want to do something, Friska, with you right now. So let's just demonstrate this, you know, how we change pictures and sounds and feelings. So so think about something that you really enjoyed. You don't have to tell me what it is, okay? Perhaps you went out to dinner with friends, whatever, okay? So get a picture of that. Now, good, you looked up, right? That's where our pictures are. They're stored in the frontal cortex of the brain, you know? So, okay, you've got your picture.
I do.
Now, tell me, is it color or black and white?
Color.
Good. So is it small or is it large?
Large.
Large. Is it near or is it far?
Far.
Where is it located? In front of you, to the side, left, behind? Where's this picture?
Front of me.
Okay. You see, you could answer my questions. Are there any sounds in this picture?
Yes.
Okay. Are they sounds, you know, externally, like birds singing, stuff like that, or sound of like your voice or someone's voice?
Externally, yeah. Chitter chatter and some animals.
Okay. And is that sound really strong? Like, is it very high or low in terms of?
Low.
Low. So it's kind of in the background.
Yes.
Okay. And what about feelings? Like, if you had to, you know, tell me what this feeling is it happiness? What is it? How do you feel right now?
Happiness, spontaneity, excitement, exploring the unknown.
Okay, great. Now scan your body and tell me, where do you feel this feeling? Your head, shoulders, chest, hands, legs?
Yeah.
Okay, so your sort of your chest.
Yes.
In that feeling, can you see, is it black and white or color? Is that
color?
Is it big, small?
Big,
medium?
I would say. Yeah.
Big. Okay. Is it throbbing or is it still?
Throbbing. Glowing, actually. Glowing.
Glowing. See, you know, you didn't know this before, right? And all I've done is I've elicited a model of how you represent this happiness, spontaneity kind of mindset. Now, it's something that's positive. It's wonderful. What if I elicited now, okay, another thing, you know, something that you didn't like? You say, oh, I hate doing that. Oh my God, I dislike it. I totally, you know, detest it. I can guarantee you your entire, do you want to do it now? You have time, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Or your entire, you know, so something that you completely detest.
Got
like
it.
From happiness, okay, you've got something. Okay, so get a picture of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now tell me, is it black and white or color?
Black.
Is it near or far?
Far.
Far. Is it small, big?
Small.
Small. Where is it located? In front of you, behind, left, right?
Front to the side, like to the distance in the periphery.
Different, right? Different from the other one. All right. Any sounds in the picture?
No. Silence.
It's silent. When you don't like something, silent. Okay. What's this feeling? What would you, how would you describe it?
A repulsion.
And where do you feel this repulsion?
Low in my stomach.
Different place. Is it throbbing? Is it still?
Still.
Still. Is it large, colorful?
Small, black.
Good. Do you notice now it's very different? This is why you are happy, you are spontaneous in one, and you detest the other. It's like a repulsion. We represent the positive and the negative, whether they're behaviors or foods we like and we don't like, You know, so I help people with simple things like, you know, I hate green tea, but you know what? It's so good for me. It's an antioxidant. I want to like it. Okay, let's do a like, a dislike. Let's change it over. So I'm going to change your dislike picture to the like, you know, the way I like something, lock it in.
I see.
You see what I mean? So simple change like that. Everybody can do it, including a child. I don't need to go into the psychology of why you detest this. Why is it repulsive? What happened to you in the past? None of my business. I don't care. You know, and as long as I make that change, I can do it in a few minutes. And people say, is that it? And I'm like, yeah. Okay, so that's one side of NLP. And this was created by Richard Bandler, you know, who was a computer programmer. So he understood that people run in programs, you know, so we get rid of these programs and we rewire the mind. Simple.